This is everyone who is present today.
Good evening, communications class. My speech is about zebra mussels and how they affect the Michigan waterways. The zebra mussels are native to the Black Sea in between Russia and Ukraine, and they have came here through ballast tanks because when ballast tanks, they have to fill in the bottom sometimes to keep afloat. So they brought them in there and then they drained it when they got into waterways in the United States. Zebra mussels have a siphon-like mouth, so they can siphon plankton and just food from other species. And they are mistaken for quagga mussels. Quagga mussels come in a variety of sizes. They come in around 2-4 inches, where zebra mussels, they come in 2 to 4 centimeters. They come in this cream brown color right here, and they have these zigzag patterns on them. And this is how you distinguish them between the quagga mussel and the zebra mussel. And if you're ever confused about it, you can ask a local DNR or anyone around usually. Zebra mussels and quagga mussels impact the same, they impact a lot. And with the invasive species, they don't only affect the ecosystems, they affect in economic ways. How they affect economic ways is that we put so much money into getting them out of propellers and pipes and docks. They attach to almost anything in the water. They like to attach to, especially they will attach to other animals too, and they will destroy things. And since they reproduce so much, they will if you go to a lake, you'll see them on a dock. You'll see them on the sides, and you'll see them up and down, and they are very sharp if you step on them. And they just fill in so much of the drainage and these things, and they're not easy to take out, and they're not easy to clean off. And this is how they affect the ecosystem. They like to, when they siphon the food, they take it from species that are natural to here. And since they, again, reproduce so fast, they eat more than other species do. And this takes away all the food source for the natural ecosystem that is already here. And they'll also, since they siphon so much, they'll also clean off any of the top layer, where this hides anything from predators from up above. And the predators, if they do see that that they're in there, they will pick them off. Zebra mussels do have natural predators, but they can't pick them off as fast as they can. So they just reproduce more and more every day, and this will cause giant clumps. And this is what causes all them siphoning the top layer, and they just don't have anything to hide them from. Seeing that they created such an impact on our ecosystems and our economy, there has to be a change to these things, because if this keeps going on, they're gonna put more money into it. They're killing off more natural animals that live here already, and they're affecting everything so much that they are changing lakes, they're changing rivers, they're changing even they are in Lake Michigan too, and they just keep spreading. And if they keep spreading, they're gonna kill off natural animals that are already here or in other places. So in Michigan, as I know of them now, there are laws and regulations to what you should do and should not do for the zebra mussels, the invasive zebra mussels. The laws I know of: you cannot put any aquatic boats into another lake unless you have already cleaned it, already cleaned out the bilge, already cleaned out the little tanks where the fish stay in. They have to be cleaned, or you will get fined. And you will get fined if the tanks for the fish, if they're still filled up. They cannot be filled up, because that is an access of where these creatures can stay. And since they're sometimes little tiny when they're first brought up, they're very tiny, so you can't really see them. So they want you to clean off your boat when you're done. They want you to inspect your boat when you pull it out of the water. They want you to take off all plants. They want you to clean it off with water. They want you to just be sure that these that these aren't going to spread into other waterways that haven't already been introduced to. They've also created these things where these pamphlets where they can educate people on how they can help and how these invasive species are everywhere and they're causing such a problem. Where I live, I have a river near me, and we have a giant sign. DNR put signs up everywhere of how to tell the difference with invasive species and invasive animals, and they do want to educate people to help that these invasive species are creating harm, so they want as much help as they can so they can't just ruin the ecosystems more than they already have. And in the end, zebra mussels are very invasive, and they cause a lot of harm economically. They cause a lot of harm in the ecosystems, and there's other animals like this, but all I've really known is zebra mussels have caused a lot of harm. Not like other invasive species have too. I just know that the zebra mussels cause a lot of harm. And thank you for listening to my speech, and I hope you guys have a good day. And here is everyone that was here. Yay!